All right. Looks like we're live. Camera action. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm your host, Anahazi, here at Christos Avatar TV. And as you can see, we have a guest tonight. We're going to be mixing it up a little bit. And so I'll have you say hello. Welcome to the show, Indigo. Thank you so much for being here tonight, brother.
Man, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Yeah. And
What's up,
so
tribe?
family, right? If you
Yeah.
guys didn't know that, Indigo is one of our moderators here at Chris's Avatar TV, and also also one of our brothers that went with us at the Sedona trip. So it's an honor to have him here on the show today. And within the premise of the Ashayana Deane Emerald Order Freedom Teachings, we'll talk about that tonight, and then go into whatever happens organically. So. Um, I was wondering, Indigo, if you could please, for those who aren't haven't seen you before or are new to the channel, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes. I'm Indigo Wizard, as most of you know. Been a moderator for a few years now. Um, Man, to talk about myself, that would be a topic to go on.
Or maybe how you found these teachings, maybe.
Yeah, I could. Um, um, about 5 years ago, my father passed away, and somehow I was going through YouTube and a video of yours popped up and it caught my attention. Um, just the way you presented yourself, and I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, and I was just drawn to it. And then you started speaking about Ashayana Deane, and I was like, I know I've heard that name before. So I started going back in my history and found some videos that I had seen back in 2009, and I must have just skimmed through them and just was wrapped up in the world and just forgot all about them. So I started finding all the videos that I could find on Oceana and just started researching and studying. And um, it's been a wild journey. Um, it's so wild because when you're growing up and you're seeing how everything is not right, but everything you say to others is wrong. But then when I found these teachings, it gave me reassurance that I'm not crazy. I know what I'm seeing. I know what
Yeah.
I'm feeling, and it brought so much insight to me. Just these freedom teachings, and I study a little bit of the Voyagers, not as much into the history of it all as I am to the fixing these solutions or having the solutions to these issues that we're dealing with here in the world. And it's just so wild how much of this just resonates. These techniques, the sounds, the just so much of it brings so much remembrance back to not only why we're here, but before when everything was right, it, there's just so much, this teachings are so complex. It's almost mind boggling at times, but I find the things that in these studies that I resonate with, and I just try to stick with that. And then bounce back and just keep researching, and then more and more clarity, more awareness comes with it all. Um, and that's just my experience through these freedom teachings and from speaker one. It's just amazing. And then I sit and think about her journey to where she got where she was, but when she started these workshops, and you know, I thought I had it rough. I can
Yeah.
only imagine, I know I've been abducted, but I don't consciously remember what happened.
Mhm.
But to be able to be that young of a child and be fully aware of what's going on around you, that would set in a lot of fear, you know, or trauma.
Yeah.
But I do respect her, and I respect these teachings, and I respect a lot of the aspects of them, you know, just like we were speaking on the attitudes and responsibilities. Um, it's a way of life to truly be a Christic being, to walk in that way. And it's not always easy. I'm not perfect by any means. I slip up and I know what I need to work on. And I always ask for help through my guardians and through my higher self and my Christ avatar. Um, but I don't think I would remember any of this if I didn't remember or run into these teachings or find, come across your videos. And
Yeah, would you say,
who knows where my path would have went, but I know where I am now, and I know this is a true path. It is my way of life now, and
mm,
I'm doing my best to be that, to reach that D12 version of myself. You know,
would you say that you were spiritual before, brother? Like before you found the teachings? Like on a quest
yeah,
of
uh,
spirituality?
yes. I grew up a Catholic, and I knew it was all wrong.
Yeah.
From the time I was 6 till I was 18, and
Wow.
got kicked out of the church for questioning. And
Oh, God
after,
forbid.
after yeah, after that, me and my dad had a strange relationship, but when we did have good conversations, it was usually about spirituality. And
Ah,
he was
interesting.
he was he was really deep into the native culture as like myself, and but he was into crystals and stuff, and I didn't really get it at the time. Um, but this was it's so wild. It's like 25 years ago, and I'm sitting there speaking to him about stuff, and he's like, "I don't know how you know this at this young age," and I'm like, "I don't know. It's just the experiences I've had." Well, then now I'm sitting there looking back at the things he was telling me, because some of the stuff he was telling me I didn't really get. I wasn't
Mm,
picking it up.
yeah.
And I'm like, man, if he could only witness these teachings, I think it would have answered everything that he was searching for,
Mm.
just like it did me. Like when I found these, I was like, this is exactly what I've been looking for, because it's an individual process, but yet at the same time, it is a collective, a conscious collective. But with these teachings, it's saying, we don't want to judge others for their path and their beliefs, the law of one, but we do know that all these religions have been distorted. And at one time, they may have all been a piece of one collective, not religion, but just a way of life, a practice.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
so when I don't know, it just hit me hard when I started going through all our videos. And to branch off that, if I could go back and study, I would start everything over by finding the workshops, and just watch those workshops. And then you'll resonate with what you resonate with, and then you can go from there. But and I had them, they were stashed away, and I didn't really know what I had. But when I found them, and also through Amaria Earth's Telegram, Lewis Oxley has a Telegram group, and it's got every workshop. He has a lot of good
Mm.
information in there, and so does Rihanna.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so I've been studying a lot more on the workshops, and it's bringing so much more clarity, because now I'm not just bouncing around from video to video. I'm getting it
Yeah.
all in one video. So if I could give any advice out there for those that are new to this material or wanting to learn more, I would start out with the workshops, and then just take what resonates with you.
And I want to say that most people who are new, I think you'll just be guided kind of like to what what's going on in
Yeah,
your life, right?
right.
And you'll just be, um, like you said, go start, check out some of the work. And for those of you who don't know, we're talking about the Emerald Order Freedom Teachings, also called Kalantic Science, as taught by Ashayana Deane, and the Voyagers books. But they're not just limited to books, you guys. If we have one of the moderators, please put the links in there for us. But yeah, this is a huge volume of tome of knowledge that it could take you a whole life to go through all those workshops, right, Indigo?
Yeah. And all the manuals and all the,
Yeah.
yeah, it's and that's just a mere fragment. It's just a fragment of one CDT plate. And that's what blows my mind because
Out
I'm
of
sitting there like,
12.
we have so much to learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm grateful and thankful to have found these, because it's turned my life around completely. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm still working on healing. I'm still working on a lot of things. Um, but I'm well aware of the things I need to work on, and I'm just doing my best to catch them in that moment and not react. And um, yeah,
What do you think in these teachings? Like for me, it was the inner Christos that really helped me understand so much, and that we're all part of Source God, that we're all connected, and it doesn't matter if you're a human being or an animal or a plant. We all have that connection, within the sacred universal law of one. So I want to ask you, brother, in these teachings, what really hit you, or what really resonated with you to really focus on these teachings?
well, man.
It's probably several factors, right?
And I really couldn't even tell you the first thing. I know it was Ascension Mechanics that the first video I watched of Ashiana's in 2009. But when I came back around to it, it was probably it was I started listening to Stones, and for some reason I was drawn to Kathara. And I know that you were speaking a lot about Voyagers, so I was drawn to that material as well, which a lot of this stuff I knew as a child. I didn't know exactly what was causing these things and who was behind these agendas,
Mhm.
but I knew the agendas, and I could see through them all. I knew, um, I just didn't, we're thinking in a human form, as in a 3D form, that it's these presidents and it's these people and it's these people, but these
Yeah.
are these are races that we're dealing with. And
Mhm.
when I started going through Voyagers, seeing all that, I was like, oh my God, okay, it's like this makes so much sense. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, so, and still like Voyagers, yeah, I'd recommend those two books as well to start out with your workshops, because it can break down all these agendas and what they're using against us by manipulating us and these frequencies, holographic inserts. Um, it will help you understand what you need to do to prevent these things from happening, and such as these techniques that we use. Um, they're a protection of your morphogenetic field, your templates. It's a shield for you, and it will protect you from all these frequencies, all these negative frequencies, these 5G towers, these microwaves, these radio towers, all this, and all the nets that have been inlaid in the grids. But
It breaks down the forbidden history, right? And it breaks down
yeah,
how we can protect ourselves, like you said, and it's just like written in 2000, like 25 years ago, but it's freaking brilliant and very relative to what's going on today. We see it just unfolding, right?
yep. And if you go back and watch some of those workshops, everything Ashiana's speaking on back in the late '90s, early 2000s, is it's happening. It's been happening. And
Mm.
for these books to be available for us to get the full view of it all, we know who's behind all this, and what can we do? We can't we and I've done this. I've got upset and got mad and
Yeah,
angry at what's all this stuff that's going on, and it's like the only thing we can do is heal ourselves and change ourselves
yeah,
and be able to expand our energy and help others. We can only be facilitators. um, we, we can offer guidance, but we cannot help you. You can only help yourself. But with these teachings, it's helped me so much. um, it's almost hard to put into words sometimes how much
yeah.
this is.
But what you said is very important. The teachings really focus on going inside to your own power and
Mhm.
not relying on something out here in the matrix or some, guru, or we find out we are our own guru. We are our
Yeah.
own uh savior, so to speak. It's not about sin, it's not about some terrible nature we were born with. It's about realizing a greater matrix of life and consciousness is out there. That's why, I mean, it's amazing how these break down the multiverse, right?
Mhm. Yeah, man. And gosh dang, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot to it. It's really good information, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, it's interesting that we learned about Indigo children, and you now your username is Indigo. So apparently you relate to that, right, brother?
Right. And the thing though, when I go over, you know, the meanings behind, an indigo one, two, or three, I feel like I have aspects of all three at times, and I truly couldn't tell you right now which one I'd be.
Yeah, that's
But I know I'm an indigo, or I
mm,
wouldn't be drawn to this information. I would
right.
not be, I wouldn't even be wasting my time with studying it, or I've never studied this much in my life. In the last 3, 4 years, I've studied more of this information than I've studied anything, and
So,
actually read and read.
mm.
I mean,
So you heavily resonated.
oh yes,
Something was calling you inside, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was guided through, through you, and I'm thankful for that as well. I enjoy helping you and as
Well,
much as
hey,
I
you're part
can.
of the team now, man.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for some more trips.
Yeah, it's part of our service. So most definitely.
Yeah. And there's a lot of great groups out here. There's a lot of great indigos that are out doing grid work as we speak.
Who are also waking up.
Yeah, and they're also healing, and they're also every one
Mhm.
of us are going through our journey, and
Yeah.
I appreciate every moment I speak with all of you, just to get to see their perspective of it all, and because it's something I have had, I can put myself in other shoes and see what they're
Yeah.
experiencing. Um, but yeah, I've asked my guardians to keep aligning me with more Christic beings, and that's what's been happening. And we may not talk all the time, but when we do, we catch up and share
Yeah.
our experiences. And I'm grateful for every moment because I don't have that around here. I'm not able to share my experiences without being labeled crazy or whatever they want to call
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, we
or
found each other, man. And most of us are coming from those backgrounds, and our family just doesn't understand. I know that not all my family understands, and I'm sure you can relate, and a lot of indigos can relate, right?
Mhm. Yeah, that's why like it's kind of tough sometimes because like my dad, like the things we talked about, if I could talk to him about this stuff, he'd just be just mind blown by it all.
And you. you believe your son as well, right? Is probably an indigo.
Yes, definitely. He's tapped into a different way than I have a sense of I have a real strong sense of feeling.
Empathy.
And well, yeah, and just being able to feel and sense energies. Now he's able to see them more. He's witnessed many things since he could talk. He was telling me that he's seen, children playing and
Wow.
or he would see a dog or he'd see some grown,
We should interview him.
right? Yeah, he teaches me a lot. He opens my mind to a lot of things. I'm grateful to have him, um, or just to be with him.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, he's definitely an indigo. It's tough because you know as well as I do, like the world, children want to do what other children are doing, and they want to eat all this poison, and it's
Yeah.
like I'm sitting there eating as healthy as I can, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you want to try this?" And he won't even try it. He's like,
Yeah.
"Nah."
And
I'm
we got to
like,
try to tell our kids about Halloween. They want to go and
"Yeah, mhm. Yeah." He's going to. He wants to be Scorpion,
of course, yeah.
off Mortal Kombat, and I'm just like, uh, "You don't see the behind all this." But I was like, I have to let him experience, and be a child. If that makes him happy and he's having fun, then
He'll figure it out, especially
right.
with you in his life. Definitely. It
Yeah.
seems like he has an interest, brother. Like
Oh,
he right? So
yeah, it's funny because when when I before I became a moderator, we were always watching you, and he'd call you Machiwa Man. He was probably like 5 at this time.
Machua.
He's like Machiwa Man, Machiwa Man, and so and he can't, attention span. They get bored with it, but he would sit and listen and comment on things and give his opinion on things, and it was awesome. And but now, like I speak with so many people, he'll see me on the phone and he just walks away because he's like, no, I've heard it already.
Yeah, they have so
But
much energy, man. They can't they don't want to stand still very long. They got express and I love to see them in Sedona. They didn't get bored. They always were doing something.
yeah, yep, and he's one with nature as well. If I could tell you all the stories, but yeah, he loves being outdoors. He loves to hike. Well, I think he got a taste of hiking now because he thought I was just going to be walking around on flat surface, and you know
Yeah,
the
he
but
probably didn't get that much with his other side of the family, right? But with you, he was probably more free to explore that stuff, right?
yeah, he's more well. They do a lot of that as well, but not um, like I let him be free to go explore on his own if he chooses. Which most time me and him will be together. But yeah, I don't. When he veers off, that's his path he's taking. He's being guided to where he needs to be guided to, and I have to allow him to do that because I I can't control him. I can't keep him on a leash. And yes, I want to protect him as much as possible. And
Of course, yeah.
and sometimes it gets anxiety going, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so many lessons with having a child, and especially an indigo child. Like the things that we talk about, it's kind of like the things I'm feeling he's seeing, so we can help each other, in a sense through that. It's amazing. But um yeah,
Yeah, we
pretty
got
cool.
Giannis and Stardust got us saying lovely things about him in chat. So
Yeah.
so
He was gonna come on and say hi, but I
that's
think
fine.
yeah, he's relaxing.
And just so you guys know, Indigo is house sitting, so he didn't really have a place to film tonight, but we're fine just the way it is. So
Hell yeah.
so speaking of which, a lot of these like you yourself have all kinds of ideas about how we should come together and which I think is very important. You know, I talked about we're going to start coming together, and we did already. So, um, can you like share why you think that's important, brother? Like to finally meet each other in person, or even just do online stuff, right?
Man. Well, yeah, it's awesome when you get to actually meet in person because we're all spread out all over the world.
Right.
So, before this trip, I was like, am I ever really going to meet any of these people and actually come together and do grid work or even just come together and sing songs together or whatever. And then when this happened, it was like, when we all hugged, it's like, this is real. This isn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah. It made it more
something that,
serious, more real, more
right.
personal.
Yeah. And then you get to experience each other with there's no mask really. There's nothing to like a social media. You can sit there and put all the stuff you want on there
You
of
confront.
peaceful and
Yeah.
loving things.
Yeah.
And, um,
I
but
know
when
what you mean.
you get to experience each other up close in person and it is, but we brought so much love together on that trip. It was amazing. And I'm still getting like downloads from all that. Like
Oh
it
yeah,
was,
me too. Yeah. It's like processing all that happened with the whole trip, the Sedona itself, the vortices, and then each other. Each one of us was very unique, and so that was awesome to just learn about each other like we couldn't do online, right?
right. And it gave me the chance to learn more about myself, the things
Yeah,
that things I need to work on or things that I could improve.
like we don't realize that until we are like in that personal situation.
Mhm.
It shows up like a mirror or reflection. We see, how we behave with each other, how we just connect with each other.
Yep.
So,
Yep. It's awesome. And then when, a group of indigos and star seeds and light workers can all come together,
mhm.
we're bringing so much powerful, loving energy into one area, and we're anchoring all that into the core and into the universe and just to all these multi dimensions. And we're spreading that. And the more and more we can bring us together and do that, it's just going to amplify it.
Yeah, I think a
And I
lot of
see
that's gonna,
I see big, big things happening in the future with all of this like this because just from all the groups I've been in and so many people have the same vision
hmm.
of you know, of helping not only just all life forms, helping everything we can in every way, and just bringing this to everywhere we go. That's
And
what it means to be the light,
yeah,
and leading by example. And it's not always easy, um,
yeah, that's the guardian
you
way.
know, right? But I'm grateful that I recognize the flaws that I have and able to work on that.
Yeah.
If it's more conscious, more awareness.
Well, like you said, we're not perfect. We're not gurus. We never said that we are, but we strive to be the
Yeah.
highest version of ourselves.
Right.
Right. And we're with
Hey,
other people doing the same thing.
yeah. Yeah, don't follow my path. Stay on your own and you'll be all good.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a guru. I don't want to be, I
Yeah.
just I just want to be able to assist when I can and if I have some experiences that I can share that can help others, then that's what I like to do.
Well, certainly other people can relate to you or over someone else, or your story will touch someone else. And we all have these unique codes. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, we all have this mission and this purpose. And And so that's what we're trying to figure out, right? Together in a group.
Yep.
So
As a collective.
I want to say, man, I want to say, I've shown this before, and this is the gentleman who gifted me this amazing Indigo Wizard's got skills for sure. So beautiful.
And you know I've told some of the lives that I was going to get that going. I still on. That's one thing I'm going to do for sure. And when I do, I will let everyone know when they're
Oh,
available.
you're gonna
Um,
make more?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I've been having a I've been putting some distractions in front of me that I'm starting to clear out, job wise and just what I'm really wanting to focus on in my life instead of wasting my time working for imaginary monopoly money.
Yeah, I went through that
And that's
myself,
another
man.
thing, you know, I'm these teachings, that's where I'm focusing my path and um, doing my best to walk my talk, you know.
Right.
So I know these jobs, I can't do it anymore.
Hmm.
I got like you said, I got a gift and I should be doing that. I should be working on these,
Yeah.
walking sticks, my jewelry and some things
Yeah.
that I need to be focusing on that. And
That's what you have a passion for. That's what you love to
right,
do.
right. And when you put love into what you do, it's
Yeah.
not a job, it's
It's in
not
here.
work. It's a
Your
fun day.
your
It's
energy's
a
in
fun
this,
moment.
brother. So grateful.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot in there. That came off of native land in Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know it was native land. That's
yeah.
cool.
And I carved that with one knife, and then um,
Mhm.
inlaid it with paint, indigo blue paint actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you asked me for what color and I chose that color, so
Yeah.
got it personalized. Oh yeah,
So
plus you gave me those wands, which were really cool at in Sedona.
yeah,
So
yes, yes. And hopefully all of that works out with you. And um,
oh, things are working out.
yes, good, good,
I have a girlfriend, so yes, everything worked out.
good.
My chihuahua.
My people. Man, yes, I'm excited. So I know we're gonna come together again,
And other
and
groups too. Like
right,
Rihanna. Rihanna's going to join and we're all going to hook up and
yeah,
bring this into like you said, we're here like much more powerful together as a group and
yep,
doing service and like you said, bringing that into it's almost like some sort of grid work itself, just being all together in one place.
right. And
So,
like I don't mean to make it like it's me and this person and this person. I've just been drawn to these individuals
oh
and
yeah,
I have a strong connection to them. It's nothing against anyone else, I just,
right.
and maybe we'll meet in sometime in our path,
Things
Um,
that we resonate with.
right.
Whether they're Christic oriented or not, we can still
Mhm.
find, like a mission together.
Mhm.
And so we
Because
can
within
agree to
our
disagree.
community, on Discord and your YouTube page, we have a lot of great people in there, and I know, or I want to believe that they're out there just, staying focused on their path, because I haven't spoken to a lot of them in a long time. And then, I have other groups that I'm in, and there's so many brilliant people in all these groups, and they're all of us are bringing not only our codes, but we're just bringing our pieces together, and it's really awesome to witness, and I know we're all going to come together at one point. It's just going to take time and trust and communication um,
Yeah, we're
but
gonna manifest it, man.
yep.
You know, we'll come
Well, we
together in
are.
our differences. We'll have even maybe conferences. We'll have meetings, and we'll figure it out. And I'm sure some of them are going to want to go into this. And I really think, for some reason, I really feel strongly that Sedona is a very good candidate for meeting people, and that the
Hmm.
energies here. the vibe is here, the history, it's got a record here. So, and it's part of the vortices of planet Earth. So it's connected to that network. So, it's more optimal to be in a place like Sedona or even Kauai, Hawaii. It's kind of expensive to go there, but we will find the best choice. So,
Yeah. You know, after thinking on it, I think Hawaii would be dope
yeah,
because uh
it's going to be one of the places we meet for sure.
mm,
Have you been to Hawaii, man?
no,
Oh my gosh.
I've been to almost, I think I have 5 states left to go to.
5 states left? Let me
Yeah,
guess. Alaska is one of them.
right.
Yeah.
And Hawaii,
Yeah.
mostly all on the west. Um, Washington, Oregon, Nevada.
Oh, you haven't been to Nevada? What's up?
Yeah, I know. I may make a trip out to Sedona here soon, actually, and I was thinking to go through
Nevada? Yeah.
Vegas, Cali, and then
I'll
work
meet you
my
in
way
Vegas,
back.
homie.
Heck
We'll spend a
yeah.
day in Vegas together.
I got to do some work up in the Black Hills in South Dakota and North Dakota. So I still have a little bit of work left to do with the native reservations and uh, Trail of Tears, and that's just part of my little mission that I got going. But yeah, I'm gonna make a route.
Yeah.
I'll come through definitely.
You feel, it seems like you got this like shaman vibe or like a druid vibe. It seems like that's part of your energy. Can you confirm that or not? Or
Well,
because you're
you know,
into
it's awfully
feathers.
strange because when I was deep into the native history, I was studying all about medicine men,
Yeah.
and I was looking up like headdresses that certain um, tribes members wore, and the medicine man wore an owl feathers. And I, it's strange. I can call the owls here. They're borrowed owls, and I can call them in, and I'll speak with them all night and mess with them. I have a bunch of feathers, uh, but I've actually gotten more into herbalism within the last 4 years, and it's awfully strange. But a couple that I'm currently staying with, she is an herbalist, and she's been doing it for over 30 years. And so I've been learning a lot through her, and um,
Well, we had some great teas in Sedona.
I just feel like there's with my current um, timeline I'm in now, and with other timelines, I feel like that I was a healer in some way of shape or form, you know, whatever it was in those time periods. Um, but
Yeah. What
now
are
I
your
know,
past
you know,
lives?
we can all heal ourselves.
Hmm.
The true healer is just a facilitator, just a guidance,
Right.
and just to hold that space so you're able to heal yourself, you know, and guide you through that process. If you know, and that's what we're learning through these teachings, you know, through Kathara. Um, but that's why I was drawn when I was drawn to Kathara. I was like, this is mind blowing because it just it puts it into like a whole scientific and spiritual just concept of it all.
Spiritual
It's
science.
yeah, it's I don't know. I feel it very deeply when I start reading through it all. And you know, I'm no master at it. But I still when I go back and reread it, it just brings more each time I read it. And I'm like, it just makes more sense every time I read it. And I was like, I
Yeah.
gotta keep studying on this. And
I
you know,
think
there's a few other things I'd
Ashana
like
talked
to
about
do.
that too. She says that the more you recover or relearn the material, you're going to pull in more that you didn't get before because you're
Mhm.
building you're accreting your frequency higher and higher, and now you'll catch it. Now you'll notice that
Yep.
on your second rerun or whatever.
And
So,
right, like you're reading, it's building muscle
mhm.
memory or something within your DNA, and it's like pulling out all this
Yeah.
remembrance will start coming out more and more the more you read it. And then once you fully embody it, and that's where I'm aiming for, is full embodiment of this, to where I don't have to think, I just act, I do, you know.
And it will. It happens over time. The more
Oh
we
yeah.
get into it, and it just becomes second nature. It's
Yeah.
just I'm sure you could see within your own life how you've made these changes, even within the past couple of years, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it's changed, it's flipped my life completely around. Um,
And that's going to keep
I
going.
won't go into my past of this life.
No, that's
We
fine,
could
man.
we could do that on another time. But we all may have had fallen a little further than others, and um, I'm just I'm like I said, I'm just grateful to have become more consciously aware of everything around me and within me. Like, growing up, I thought I knew something, and then I'd figure something out, and it was like, bam, life is like, all right, now learn this, now learn this, now learn
Yeah.
this, and I used to get frustrated with it, and now I'm like, I actually enjoy learning this and studying this, like I said, in school, I was rebellious. I did not care. I wasn't going to listen to anything because I knew it was all BS. I was like, I'm not. If there were certain subjects that I resonated with and I studied it and I made A's in, everything else I had pretty much
Yeah.
straight D's just to graduate.
Right. So in your
But
journey, you spend a lot of time outside in nature. Certainly, you probably run across a UFO or two, right?
oh yeah,
You and
yeah.
Elijah.
It's funny. The other night, actually, I couldn't tell what it was, if it was a shooting star or if it was a craft. But where I was, there's a bunch of trees, but there was this little gap, and I seen this orb. I don't know how big it was. It was awfully big, and but bright white light, and it just shot across that tree gap, and I was like, I barely caught it, and so I was like, what the heck?
What
But I don't.
color?
Hmm?
What color was it?
Like white, almost like a
Wow.
yellowish tint, but more of a whitish.
That sounds like the movie Starman, where it came in, the ship came in, and it was an orb. You saw this orb come in, and
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Well, and I've seen several out here at the lake, and then we have a small airport, and sometimes, because I know where all the planes routes are, but these crafts, they're moving up and down, and it could be drones. There's a lot of people having drones nowadays, and there's big drones, but I don't know.
Well, there's mechanical UFOs, then there's ones made of light. Those
Right,
aren't coming from the government.
right. And that's the thing. It's kind of difficult to distinguish for me right now which ones are which,
Yeah,
because the way they move. But like the ones that are, to me, they look like they're gliding. Those ones seem like light. The ones that are like choppy and moving at 90-degree angles and stuff, those are mechanical,
yeah,
or moving at, even if it is warp speed angles, they're still cutting at angles. These crafts are like
yeah.
gliding and just kind of like they
Mhm.
float where they want.
And you said you were a kid when you had some type of abduction,
Yes.
right? You
Well,
think is that the only time? Or
no.
who knows, right?
Yeah. This first time, I might have been around 8, 9 years
Wow.
old, and we were actually out here by this airport, and my dad was out there with a buddy, and they were drinking, and me and my brother were just running around this field, and we have tall wheatgrass, so the grass was probably a foot taller than us. Well, me and my brother just chasing each other. The sun's setting, it's getting to be a little dark, and me and my brother just stopped. And we noticed this thing just zipping all over this field, and it was probably like 3 foot above the grass.
Was it
And I'd
making a
say
crop circle?
it might have been the size of like let's say of those new Volkswagen Beetles,
Okay.
something about that size.
Damn.
And it was moving just so fast. And I think it noticed, or it could feel us,
Yeah.
that we sensed it and seen it. So it like stopped, and it was like it just stopped and turned. And then it started coming at us. So me and my brother, of course, we're in fear. We take off running.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, I'm just standing in this garage, just kind of like out of it, staring at the concrete. Now my brother's telling my dad what's going on. My dad's just like, "Oh, you guys are seeing things, blah blah," blah.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, just out of it. You know, I could hear what's going on, but it was like I was just numb. And I don't know what happened. I don't know how long I was gone. I don't know what happened when I was gone, but I know I was gone because when I was in that state, I was just like I was lost. I was like, "How did I get here?" You know, this don't make sense. I was just running out in the field from something, and now I'm inside here. Like this don't make sense.
Passage of time lapse.
Right.
Does your brother still remember that?
I don't know. I'm sure I'd have to ask him. I don't speak with my brother very often. But and also he's had a lot of head injuries, so
Yeah.
it's strange because he'll remember stuff, and after he mentions it, I will remember it. But like I was like, man, I don't even remember that until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
But usually I'm the one reminding him about everything, you know, and he just is like, I have no clue what you're talking about.
But that
But
event messed you up or it just freaked you out, right? You didn't know what to
well,
think.
right, yeah, I just and then I forgot all about it, of course, and then I was probably maybe 15, maybe 16. And me and this guy and another guy, we were in the store. We were talking to the lady that worked there, and then the next thing I know, I'm in the back seat of his car, and we're like 6, 7 blocks away from this store. And I'm just sitting in the back seat, and I'm looking around. I'm like, how did I get here? I was just
Uh-oh.
inside this store talking to this lady, and now I'm in
Yeah.
like I'm serious, and I don't know how long I was gone. I don't know how long,
Yeah.
or if I passed out and these guys picked me up. You know, I asked them. I'm like, hey, did I pass out or something? And they're like, no. What are you talking about? And I was
It's
like,
like,
I'm something's not right. Like I'm missing
yeah.
time, and they're just laughing at me, you know, like just whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, this is crazy. Like,
That's classic UFO abductee kind of testimony, really.
yeah. And then the reason now, because I had a lucid dream a few years ago, and I ended up into this dark room where there was a Zeta, and it was
Whoa.
like it had these inviting eyes, like, oh, I'm kind, but I knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it
This
was
is a
he was
dream?
yeah, or it was
Maybe something else.
or astral or whatever. I have no idea, but it was real as me
But
talking to you right now.
but you knew the Zeta was not kind.
Right. And
Right.
it was reaching out to me. And I just remember turning my head and saying, you know, I didn't let fear get set in, but I was just like, it's not there. I'm not focused. I'm not even going to pay attention to this.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, this portal opens up. And so I go into it, and it took me away from that. So when that happened, I was like, this makes sense after reading Voyagers 1 with the Zeta Grays agenda. I was like, this all makes so much sense. Now I'm to the point where it's like, okay, I want to know what happened when I was gone.
Yeah.
Um, because now I know it, you know, I don't care what anybody says or believes, or I know what
Yeah.
happened. And after reading this testimony of the Zeta Grays
Mhm.
agenda, then I was like, okay,
Just so
I just
people
want
know, it's in Voyagers 1. There's a whole chapter on the Zeta Gray aliens and what their intentions are, what they're doing with DNA manipulation and abducting babies or creating babies,
to,
and plus they put implants in humans. That's
yeah,
another thing. Maybe you have an implant, brother, you know.
right. And that, you know, before that vivid dream, I was just learning about the J seals and implant
Oh,
removals. And
yeah.
so I did a lot of deep researching through that. Rihanna has a great section in her Telegram where it's all the Amaray
Abductee stuff.
the flame body, and it has a lot of techniques. And there's one in there for J seal removal, and you use VECA codes, and there's a lot of breathing to it. It's an awesome technique, and because it not only removes those J seals, it's also clearing your other chakras. Because every time you breathe through your root,
Mhm.
you're clearing that chakra, and you have to breathe through your
Yeah.
root to go through all these chakras or the seals.
Isn't it
So
interesting? Your higher self guided you to that technology, brother.
right. It was like, okay, and that's another thing. I'm sitting here, I want to know what happened. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, maybe first you need to remove these seals and
Right.
remove these implants, and then you'll be able to get more
There you
clarity
go.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's like I said, it's opened my eyes completely. Like I thought I was conscious and aware of my surroundings, like because I would be telling people this 20 years ago. I was like, I'm well aware of my
Yeah.
surroundings. I was like, do you not know what's going on in this world? And then now I'm sitting here thinking, wow, if I would have found this stuff back then, what would I be open? But it's all divine timing, and I'm here at this
Right.
point in my life and my journey. So I don't, and that's another thing I've been working on is patience through it all,
Hmm.
because I'm a type of person I want to know, and I'll study, 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 and learn, and I have to set back and just accept that it's going to come when it comes. It's the answers will be there, you know. I just have to stay calm and breathe through it all. And um, but yeah, man, I love it. I'm grateful for it all.
It makes you wonder every time you see another UFO, huh? Like,
Yeah,
Zeta or
right.
Guardian, right?
See, but the betas, I think they're much trickier than that. I don't even think they have crafts. I think they can just um, come in and out of dimensions like the Bigfoot. I think they do the same. I don't think they could just run away and people can't see them. They actually just disappear before your eyes because they form into another dimension that you can't see.
Well, according to the testimonies, they're able to take you to a higher dimension and do what they want to do. They're not limited to the physical body, then return you back to your dimension in time. So,
Right.
and then you
And
lose
see,
what happened, right?
and that makes sense because that's how I feel about the abductions. It's like you're gone,
Yeah,
but I'm sitting there thinking, okay, me and my brother were running and he's in here with me at the same time. So, but what happened between me running and being
right.
entering into this garage door, you know? And how long was I actually, because time is an illusion here, but I was only gone for a mere, let's say,
Split.
let's say a minute,
Yeah.
but up in those dimensions, I could have been gone for weeks in our time. You know what I mean?
Or
Who really knows?
years.
Right,
Like,
right,
because you don't remember what actually happened. Who knows what went on and
right,
how long you were gone.
right.
So,
Uh, which that all touches in with super soldiers, and I'm
yeah.
not too knowledgeable on that topic, but I have studied it, and
Mhm.
it's a trip, man. Like
Yeah, that those
it
technologies
it
exist.
and that's a part of the you know Voyagers where it speaks on our shadow government. They sold us out, and
Yep.
and it's messed up because all these people are suffering and they think it's these labels that these psychiatrists or whatever call them with these mental illnesses, but they have witnessed a trauma that they can't even explain because they don't remember it. But that trauma happened and it's stored within them and they don't know where it's coming from or what to do. And it's
Oof.
sad because like if this information could reach so many or others, I truly like Ashiana said, just that the scientific point of it or the
Mhm.
psychiatrist point of it. If we could get this information to them and they could say, wow,
Yeah, because
it would help,
they can't even help kids who have those kind of issues or people because they
right?
don't
They
even
they
believe in UFOs.
drug them up or lock them up,
Yeah,
and
they diagnose them and say, here's your medication so you don't see that stuff anymore. That's not helping anybody. That's right.
no, and it just adds more trauma. It's
Yeah. The cycle
eh,
just continues. So, And even these
That's
teachings
one of
talk,
my intentions, is to free all that, to free all
yeah,
these children, because there is a lot of us that are trapped in these mental wards or trapped in these hospitals, and
yeah,
um, like you go to drug counseling, they're trying to get you off drugs, but here they give you more drugs.
yeah,
It's like, are you insane? Hold on. Hello? Okay, hey, I'm on a Zoom meeting. I'll be done here in a little bit, and I'll come inside. Um,
you got about 20 minutes or so?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
we could do that. And so it's like, yeah, you're saying these drugs are bad, which most of them are from the earth, yet you're going to give us
Yeah.
these chemical drugs that subdue us and make us dumbed down and lowered frequency to where you're just comatose.
Yeah,
That way,
these herbs are horrible, but you want these synthetic drugs that the pharmaceutical companies made, right?
right? Oh man.
Speaking of pharmaceuticals, not pharmaceuticals, but medicine, what do you think about medicine? Do you think it's helpful to somebody who wants to explore consciousness?
Yes, and I also think it's helpful with healing, but there's to a point to where you think of it like godliness is cleanliness. If our temple is clean, we are at our purest form. So we really don't need these medicines. But I do truly believe that they've helped me through my traumas and through a lot of hard times of mental or psychological war. Um, I also believe that they, like mushrooms, for instance, it takes me to a higher frequency, a higher dimension, to where I'm actually witnessing these things, not just knowing them.
Yeah,
Now, with marijuana, it's been a medicine for me that's been a healer. It's not really, I don't feel the same uh, connection as I do with mushrooms.
right. I
So,
feel the
and
same way.
if I do take mushrooms, I don't smoke,
Hmm.
but I believe it helps, and and I know it helps because there's studies that war people that come back from war that have PTSD, it's healing their traumas. It in small microdosage. They legalized it in Colorado, I believe, and
Also, depression.
yeah, it helps with depression, and I've witnessed that myself with the mushrooms. The
Yeah,
depression I was going through, I would take these mushrooms and it would bring me out of that. And but at the end of my journey, I would sit and reflect, and I would cry. I would purge
mhm,
and I would cleanse all this stuff out of me.
yeah,
And then the next, the day after, I'd just be. It was like I was lighter. I didn't dis-ease. I felt at ease. I felt more peaceful, more calm. Um, I do believe that it does help. And I know there's a lot of people that don't believe it. And to me, honestly, they probably haven't even experienced it.
yeah.
Um,
To each
it's
their
something,
own. I mean,
right. Or it's something they fear and they'd want to project it onto you. But, I believe it's
exactly.
helped with my journey. And there's going to be a point where, yeah, I'll say this. The time that you stop seeing Indigo Wizard smoking, you probably know that I'm fully healed.
Right.
I mean, it's funny because I speak with so many people, and a lot of them are like, "Oh, you have to," and it's like, man, no, this is a long process for many people. It's not something that just happens overnight. These traumas you may get something cleared in it, and it may come back, and you have to set with it again. You can't just wish it away. Uh, it takes time, and healing takes time, and I believe that these medicines help with that healing, and that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, you got to think about these are part of the earth. They have these specific properties. They do these certain things to your consciousness. There is some type of benefit. It has many different healing levels. And I agree with you, brother. It's kind of like there's a difference between cannabis and psilocybin. There's a whole huge difference. And so I
And
just
there's a
want to
whole
say,
huge difference between organic herb and all this chemical stuff that's coming
yeah,
from these dispensaries.
yeah.
The
I think,
FDA approves this stuff, and I know because I know how they grow it. And they're not flushing this stuff out. They're just pushing chemicals, and then they're pushing for profit. They're not pushing for healing.
right. And plus they're bringing up the,
Even the medical aspect of it, it's the same thing. It's all chemical.
yeah,
Now, there is herb that you can grow yourself and use the soil and use purified water and put your love into your growth
right.
and your intentions, and it'll all be good. And I mean, I smoke dispensary smoke because I'm not able to grow it where I'm at. If I was able to, I would have a few plants of my own, and
Well,
it would
someday
be
you will. Someday.
right. Oh yeah, yes, sir. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But
And
besides all that, yeah, it's a healing. In my eyes, it's a healer, and it can bring you to different levels of consciousness, especially with the
yeah,
psilocybin.
no joke, man. That's real. All you have to do is see other people's testimony. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to say on something connected to that, when you're developing yourself on your spiritual journey, um, have you experienced yourself, man, like any type of energies running in your body, seeing auras, or seeing anything like a higher self, a higher consciousness within your journey?
Um, like I was saying earlier about my sense of energy,
Yeah,
I after learning about the actual tunnel lines and more about the chakras, it it made so much sense because I studied martial arts and I had an idea about energy, but I didn't have a um, this aspect of it.
yeah.
So it helped me understand more of what I was actually feeling because I can feel it, especially if I'm holding my device in my left hand. I can feel all that negative energy in the palm of my hand and the tips of my fingers, and it works its way up all the way to my elbow,
What device?
like my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because your left hand is magnetic, so it's pulling that energy.
Mhm.
Um, if I hold it in my right hand, I won't feel it.
Makes you think about maybe there's a reason they gave everyone these phones all over the world,
Oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah, and there's
And
studies on that as well. It's putting off EMFs. It's another form of a frequency net that we were talking about. It's 5G network, and it can tap into us. It can feel you. It can read you, and it'll feed you everything that you desire, just to keep you distracted.
yeah, I actually have this little device and you can use it to check the negative energy of anything. Like use something
Mm-hmm.
like this on your microwave, something
Mm-hmm.
like this on your refrigerator, for example. Your and ladies, you're using
Mm-hmm.
a hell of a lot of energy, negative energy on your hair every day or whenever you use a hair dryer or anybody who uses a hair
Mm-hmm.
dryer.
And
Um,
not only the sounds that they put off,
yeah, that too.
um, it it keeps you in a low frequency.
Well, just like there's sacred sound, you better believe there's some type of harmful sounds
Mm-hmm.
that's weaponized in
Yeah.
one form or another. So,
Yeah. But we're learning how to prevent or to protect ourselves from all this,
like the
and
Maharic seal.
Mhm. And I know you speak a lot on Voyagers and you're bringing awareness to a lot of individuals through that, and it's awesome. And I know there's going to be a time that some of those individuals are going to get to a point where they're like, okay, well, what do I need to do to fix this? Like how can I protect myself? And that's I know we're trying to do that in Discord. It's not really the best organized at the time because, like I said, I was bouncing around through a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna do my best to go back through there and organize it to where it's helpful for others so that they can have not really a step-by-step process, but I believe there is a step-by-step process when it comes to techniques because
Yeah.
you're allowing so much energy in and your body can only handle, or your fields can only handle so much energy.
Oh yeah.
With your fields are they're only going to allow what it can handle. But if you're doing high or techniques that are more advanced, you're not really benefiting from them. I believe that you really have to start out with your like awakening the mentor, and then work your way into the Maharic seal, and then work your way into the Ekasha quick seal, and then your flame body, and you just progress and progress, and then you're able to hold all that energy and hold all those codes, and um, not only that, you're correcting your fire letters, your DNA, everything is being corrected when you're doing these techniques. Um,
Yeah, these teachings were done throughout the years, and
right.
Ashayana Deane was starting with the very simple basics. And then each
Mhm.
year, each workshop, it's more and more advanced, more and more advanced. So if someone goes straight to the advanced stuff, it's not going to help you. Like Indigo said, you want to start with the very beginning. And
And you may resonate with it, because I did that. I was looking at sliders, so stuff in sliders, and I'm
yeah,
like, I don't even, what are they even talking about? But there's stuff in
yeah,
there that I'm just like, I know I've been doing this
yeah.
stuff my whole life,
Hmm.
you know. But then I had to go back, and there'll be a point where I can work my way back into those.
Hmm.
I have them. I don't study them right now because I'm focusing on the freedom teachings. And
Yeah.
like I said, I want to fully embody these, and then I can move on. And that's just my process. That's how I work with things. Everybody's different.
Yeah, we plan on doing that here at Christos Avatar, and also you heard our sister yesterday or on last live, Dara Kasha. She's also
Yeah.
wants to bring together some Kalantic type of groups, and that's very important, you guys. As we're evolving, we want to start practicing this stuff publicly with each other, and also whenever you can on your own, lifestyle, do techniques, run energy, learn how to protect yourself, learn how to activate yourself, awaken yourself, and that's what these teachings are all about.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Reaching our that D12.
yeah, baby, what's
Diamond, diamond,
up?
sun.
Well, this has been an awesome live, brother. I'm sure we could probably look forward to like a part two and bring in some more interesting testimony
Yeah.
um,
Anytime.
and we're doing this together, man. We're all developing and growing in our own in these teachings as a group, and we found each other, our family of consciousness, don't you think?
Oh yeah. And it feels good. It really truly does. Because I know there's many out there like me that just they feel alone a lot. And when I and became a moderator for you, it was like, wow, I really feel accepted here. I didn't feel like I was being judged or labeled, or what I would talk about. It wasn't like, oh, you're crazy for even thinking that. It was like, I really feel comfortable here. I don't have to walk on eggshells. I don't have to, I am. I always ask my guardians to just keep aligning me with more, because that's all it helps push me to be a better person. Being around a community, and I've never really had, I mean, I've had it, but it wasn't real. It was distorted beyond
Yeah.
distorted.
Yeah,
Um,
it helps to have a supportive community that doesn't judge, that's understanding and compassionate. And I think we find that here, for example, amongst other like-minded indigos, it's really helps with the healing process and the learning process as well.
mhm.
Uh,
Like me and Renee were speaking about, sharing your experiences. It does so much by
who's that?
Rihanna with
She's in the
animal.
audience, brother, right now.
Oh, what?
Hello,
Look, she's
Rihanna.
there.
What's up, sister? Share what she was talking about.
When you share your experiences, it helps others heal because they may be going through something either exactly like that or similar to it, or they can relate to it, and but they might, and I know every answer is within us. We truly all have to do is just go within and every answer will be there. But in this process, it's difficult to truly stand by that. So we do reach out for guidance. We reach out for help from others. And I do believe sharing these experiences helps that. Plus it helps. There's people that are shy that don't want to talk because their throat chakra's been cut off and nobody would
Yeah.
allow them to talk and nobody they couldn't. So that, they feel like they're walking on eggshells, and it's like they see others speaking freely about these experiences. They're just like it helps them open up, and maybe one day they're like they may be great speakers. They may be one of the greatest speakers in the world, but their throat chakra was completely shut off. And
Yeah.
I've noticed that as well. The things that have our weaknesses are really totally our strengths. It's not, we didn't make them weak. They were tampered with. And they were tampered with
Yeah.
for a reason, because those people that have their chakras closed off, there's a reason why, because they are very powerful with their words.
Well, yeah, they also want the people awakening, the people shining light, disempowered. Because even if those narcissists in the world or psychopaths in the world don't understand it or are not aware of it, there is a there is a spiritual war happening. And so there's a lot of consciousness in the world, distorted consciousness that doesn't want this light, this truth coming out. So they will try to shut off your throat chakra or your ability to see, whether some pharmaceuticals or some false light systems.
You know,
So,
just like we were speaking earlier, the night before this interview, I was, going over some notes and just kind of going within and getting guidance. But then all of a sudden this frequency set in that I've never felt, and it was strange. But all this doubt and fear was setting in. Basically, I could hear it. It was telling me, you're not good enough to sit here and speak on this information. You're like, it was trying to keep me from doing this interview. Like it didn't
yeah,
want my point of view being put out there.
yeah.
But I had to, I ran some techniques and I've been running them today and I feel good. But I had this, like, I almost just had a feeling like and I knew it. I was like, I'm about to call Anahazi and cancel this. But I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to let this happen. Like,
And Lee, you did great, brother. I mean, right? No, nothing
well,
holding
oh
you
yeah,
back today.
I think we had a wonderful conversation. Like, well, we always do.
I think that's part of the spiritual war, though. That, those feelings, those
Yeah.
astral beings are just trying to
Yeah.
uh,
Manipulation. They're putting
put
manipulation on
doubt,
you. Mhm.
you doubt yourself, um, or just make you turn against each other.
Yeah.
So maybe it works sometimes, but we're awakening here and trying to share this with the world. We're not going to let that happen, right?
Exactly. Build your shield strong.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I appreciate
I
you
will.
being here,
I
brother. Say hello to Elijah for us.
I will. And thank you for holding this space. And I look forward to the next one. And
Yeah.
you have a
Well,
good evening. Hope everybody on the live enjoyed.
is
Love
there
you
any
all. And
is there any last words you'd like to say to anyone who's considering these teachings?
if it resonates with you, just don't give up, and don't let that doubt set in. Know those aren't your thoughts.
Yeah.
Just if you truly feel that these teachings, if you feel it, you feel it. And just there's going to be times where you start thinking you're going crazy, but you're not. You're clearing and you're purging and you're working through it all.
Yeah. Well
And
said, man.
just keep on your path and stay focused, and know that you're always protected and you're never alone.
Never alone. You have the guardians, you have your higher selves, we have our family awakening on Earth. You're
Yeah.
definitely not alone. So
Yeah.
well said, man. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again. And realize that he's part of our moderators doing regular service along with you guys. So we'll see you guys again on Tuesday. Thank you for all of you who hung with us, and much respect to your spiritual journey. And we'll see you again soon. Much love, much
Peace.
respect.
Much
Omni
love.
Crystals love, my chiwa.